The state beyond positive thinking that would be most relevant beyond the different things that we've shared, or at least we're going to put it in this context, is really proactive being. Okay? I am progressing. I am progressing. Now, what that looks like is different for every individual. But what people think of as positive thinking usually doesn't go deep enough to make much difference. Positive thinking without positive feeling, coherent feeling, in other words, it feels and thinks the same, it doesn't have much impact. Positive being, on the other hand, proactive being, I am progressing, has tremendous impact because it's coming from the core of you. Instead of trying to work into the core with positive thinking, positive or proactive being comes from the core and is expressed outwardly. In this version of reality, polarity-based version of reality, everything is upside down and backwards from how it actually is. Trying to get stuff in is exactly backwards of how it is. It's really about letting stuff out. Okay, which means it has to start on the inside, which is hard to do if there's nothing in there. However, you're full of cool stuff. You don't know you're full of yet because you hadn't let it out. I'm just looking for this, that, or the other thing. Next book, next workshop, next something. Pound it in. Chew it up, swallow it, digest it, regurgitate it in some form. I'm progressing. Yeah. No, let it out, let it out, let it out. I want to challenge each of you to let something cool, something wonderful, something beautiful out next week. Okay? Every week. Every day. I want to let something cool out. It may start as a realization. But while you're wondering, pondering, considering what that something cool might be, just take a moment to breathe up. Breathe up from your root chakra, at least to your heart, preferably right out the top of your head. Just breathe it out. I'm letting something cool out. Letting something cool out. I don't know what it is yet. I'm letting something cool out. Get used to thinking in those terms. Polarity is all about acquire what you don't have. Oneness is all about express what you do have, what you actually are. Okay? And since this version of reality is rapidly dissolving into a oneness-based consciousness, you might as well learn the lay of the land, a little bit about the culture here, so you function effectively in that oneness-based consciousness. I'm here to express my being. I'm here to experience my being. Not this world. My being in this world. Okay? Huge distinction. Huge distinction. So it stops being about the house, car, the relationship, blah, blah, blah. And starts being about my grand reality, which may, by golly, include the house, car, the relationship, blah, blah, blah. Oh, don't forget the money. The money. Maybe gold or silver, in some cases cocoa beans, but anyway, some cultures do use those little chocolate beans. That's their money. And when they have money to burn, they have hot chocolate. Oh yes, we borrowed that from this world, just so you know. So, just consider that. What cool thing, what gem, what treasure are you going to let out? That you're going to release from you to express in this world, to manifest in this world. What? Wonder. The cool thing is you don't have to identify it particularly. If you wonder what it is that you're releasing into the world, releasing into your life, calling forth from within you to manifest, you'll know. I mean, you're already doing this. Sort of, kinda. Just not so deliberately. No, consciously yet. The mind still thinks, well, if they hand it to me, then it came from outside of me, even though I know intellectually I created it, I intended it, I manifested it, called into being, but it's still, that mind is saying, it came from outside. Thus, I'm still dependent on something out there. I'm still looking out there for my supply. Most of the world functions that way. Not very effectively, but mastery is I am expressing my being. My consciousness is manifesting. Now what can I allow out? Curious to see, be wonderful to see. Just what am I capable of allowing out of me? I challenge you to do that. Do it till it works, then do it because it works. Then speed it up. Do it more. It happened once, cool. It could happen again. Will it happen tomorrow? Don't know. But I'm going to let something else cool out. You can be sure of that. I like this cool thing. I'm going to let the next cool thing out. Maybe that's 2 weeks from now. The next cool thing happens. All right. So I've got a pattern here. Every 2 weeks. So I wonder when the next cool thing's going to happen. Maybe a little sooner. And so maybe it's 12 days. Maybe it's 7 days. But let it out, let it out, let it out. Don't take it in, take it in, take it in. That's an illusion. Let it out, let it out, let it out. You don't need anything. If you are everything, you don't need anything. But you may definitely love to experience things. So to not need does not mean to not have. Don't need, you are. If you are, allow it to manifest. So you don't get money. You allow the wealth that you are, the abundance that you are to manifest. You don't get the relationship. You allow the relationships that you are to manifest. That can be a little harder for a mind to get because it does involve another person. Or 2 or 10 or 50, however people do it here. It came to accommodate all cultural contexts. Or dimensional contexts, as the case may be. That's coming from within me. It is me manifested. You know, it's you manifested too. It's you manifested too. It's you manifested too. It's all of us. So, be it. Express it. Or, you don't have to. Now, this is required by any cosmic law that I've ever read. It's just a whole lot easier life is if you do it this way. And life becomes not this horizontal, one-dimensional experience, but this vast, multi-dimensional brilliance, wherever your current reference point happens to be. Okay? But don't think you're not capable of having dinner on the moon if that's what you want to do. If you own yourself enough, you can. If you be yourself enough, of course you will. Well, if you be yourself enough, then the moon is nothing more than a step, one step up into another world, another way of being. I do hope that in sharing with you this evening I've inspired you and helped you to remember something extremely special about who you are. Okay? You're so precious and you're so powerful. Okay? So much potential just waiting to be unleashed. Okay? Truly it is so. And bear in mind that if you're frustrated about circumstances, my dear, it's because you know, absolutely know, there is potential beyond that. Okay? And you will most assuredly embrace that potential.